Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to another Real Madrid preview. This is the Real Madrid preview away to Napoli. Obviously, the Champions League is back now, meaning we will play Napoli away. Now, of course, we started off in our Champions League group stages pretty well. It was a tight 1-0 win over Union Berlin, but it was all we needed to get the win. Of course, it took us 95 minutes, didn't it, to win the game against a Union Berlin side that were fighting for their lives. Now we're playing against a different animal. We're playing against a Napoli side that went away to Braga and won pretty late on, but they did score too. And I believe they're currently top of the Champions League table. Of course, because they've already scored more than we have, but of course they've also conceded as well. So it's kind of a trade-off, really. But this game is going to be an exciting and entertaining game that we would expect to have full of goals, and it's going to be a tough game because Napoli coming to this game with very good form. Let's talk about what happened after the Champions League game against Braga. They drew away against Bologna. They beat Udinese. In fact, they smashed Udinese, and then they smashed Lecce just recently. So this game is going to be tough against Napoli. Of course, they have got two stars that I think everyone will look out for: Victor Osimhen and Kubica Kvaratskhelia. Two players that I think a lot of people will be looking at, going, they could change the game. Of course, this is at the Maradona as well, so this will be an advantage for them. But Osimhen came on and scored against Lecce, and then he as well scored against Udinese. So he is on pretty fine form at the moment. Kvaratskhelia has also been scoring a few goals recently. You look at their team, like, it's actually a very good team. Kvaratskhelia, they've got Jesper Lindstrom, they've got Zielinski, Zambo Anguissa, Di Lorenzo, their captain, Osimhen, Politano, Raspadori, who can come on and make a difference, Almas, who can come on and make a difference. So they've got a very good squad, very good team, and the one thing that they have that we don't have is a clinical finisher like Victor Osimhen, accompanied by a winger like Kubica Kvaratskhelia. So they have both. But you could argue that technically Real Madrid do have a striker in Joselu, but will he play? That is the question that I think a lot of people will be having. Now, of course, when I'm recording this, it's right after I've done the Real Madrid review to Girona, so it's a very early preview, because I'm not sure if I'm able to make a video about the preview on Monday. Obviously, this game is on a Tuesday, so I'll not really have the time. So I've done it early. But in terms of Real Madrid heading to this game, it's a win against Girona. And then obviously it's Las Palmas early as well. Obviously Atletico Madrid, it wasn't really that great, but you had a few games back. We have been winning. So far we're at the top of the table in the Liga. Napoli, on the other hand, are they top of Serie A? I'm not sure. Are they? Let me have a look at the table. Currently, they're third. They're 4 points behind Inter and AC Milan, and Juve and Atalanta, and even Fiorentina and Lecce. Wait, not Lecce. So Juve, Atalanta, and Fiorentina could all go above Napoli if they do win their games today, the upcoming day. But Atalanta play Juve actually, so only one of the two teams, if not neither teams. So Fiorentina could go above Napoli, of course, or Juve or Atalanta, but Napoli are still in the top 4 in the Serie A. That's for sure. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a very interesting game. I talked about this in the Real Madrid review to Girona. This is the start of a really bad run of games in the next 5. Because after this, you have Osasuna at home, you have Sevilla away, you've got Braga away, and then you have Barcelona at home. Because 4 games out of those games are away. In fact, Barca is away as well. Sorry. So our only home game in the next 5 is against Osasuna. So it's going to be tough because we have to be traveling around, and we have already traveled against Girona. So it's gonna be tough having to travel around and play the same players again. But I've gone Kepa in goal. He has already had 4 clean sheets. He played pretty well against Las Palmas and Girona, so he's gonna stay. Carvajal started against Girona, I believe. He's back, so he starts. Rudiger starts, and Nacho starts. Now, of course, Nacho did get a red card, a straight red against Girona. I'm pretty sure that does not affect the Champions League, so I've gone Nacho again. And even though Camavinga played a left back against Girona, excuse me, I do hope that Fran Garcia or Mendy returns. I've gone Fran Garcia for this one. In the midfield trio, I've kept the same midfield trio. Tchouaméni scored against Girona. I think he's crucial for this sort of games. Valverde, just a different type of player compared to Camavinga or even Ceballos. Modric or Cruz. Cruz started against Girona. Modric has not played even as a substitute in the last 2 matches against Las Palmas and Girona, which will lead me to believe Modric finally starts. Front 3, Bellingham on absolute fire at the moment he starts. The top 2, I was going to go Vini and Joselu. I was going to go Rodrigo and Joselu. I've ended up just going with Vini and Rodrigo because I'm not sure which one I'm going to go with. So, my 2 strikers are not my actual selections. If I was actually doing it, I'll probably go Vini and Joselu because I feel like those 2 seem to play better in a way. But of course, it may just be based on a couple of games as well, so let's not take it too seriously. But I've just got Vini and Rodrigo as for now. But let's see what happens up top. But overall, this is going to be a very, very, very entertaining game for the neutrals. We know that. But for fans, it's not going to be as entertaining. It's not going to be as fun as we hope it would be. In terms of a prediction, I feel like I do have to back Real Madrid, but I can't really say Real Madrid will win this as well because Napoli are a fantastic side and they'll probably get something out of this. I think because they're at home, they've got good players. I'm really, really worried because of Victor Osimhen. I think he is a player that will definitely be involved in some sort of ways, and I think he will definitely score. I'm gonna go with a 1-1 draw just to be safe on this one. It has a draw written all over it, doesn't it? I mean, you've got 2 very, very good sides. You've got 2 very, very different sides. You know, one side particularly relying on players like Kvaratskhelia and Osimhen. The other, I would say, rely more on Joselu and Bellingham. Very, very different teams, very, very different sides. You know, I've not really watched how Rudy Garcia and his team have played so far. But based on the results, you would assume that they are still a very good side from, obviously when they won the title last season. Real Madrid, as far as I'm concerned, if Ancelotti, does make a decision like Camavinga at left back, or, playing players that I don't think would be suitable for this kind of game, I would tend to believe that Napoli would have the upper hand. But if Ancelotti does what I have done, but maybe swap a few personnels, if he starts Joselu instead of one of Vini or Rodrigo, or if he starts Toni Kroos ahead of Modric, or if he starts Camavinga ahead of Valverde, it's alright. But if he plays Camavinga at left back, or something like that, I think we can kind of just say, you know what, this game is definitely not going to be won. Of course, there is a chance Real Madrid win this game. If you ask me my percentage, I would say right now it's probably, I think, 25% each team win and the 50% a draw. I feel like this has majority of it being a draw. It could be a 30-30 and then a 40 as well for a draw. I think, yeah, it is a 30% each, really, if you think about it, and a 40% draw. But for me, I think this has a draw written all over it. But maybe it's just me. Of course, I hope Real Madrid win, but you can't really say Real Madrid will definitely win, especially if we're playing against a side that have Kvaratskhelia, Osimhen. They are the hosts. They are sitting third in a competitive league. They have scored 4 goals in back-to-back games. They have been dominating for the last year. that have gotten to a Champions League semi-finals last season, you can't really take anything away from this side, especially considering the outbreak, from last season. So I'm trying to be respectful while also hoping that Real Madrid takes something away, because if we get a draw and let's assume Union Berlin or Braga win, even though yes, if Braga win, it's not really a good position because it will be two teams on 4 points, Braga on 3, Union Berlin on 0. If it's Union Berlin who win, obviously it'll be both teams on 4, Union Berlin on 3, Braga on 0. I think the best case scenario is Braga and Union Berlin to draw, really, because if it's a draw 4-4 and then the other two teams on 1 each, perfect, really. And then we head away to Braga, which should not be an easy game, but we'll do that match preview when we get to it. But now it's about focusing on this Napoli game, really, because yes, after this we have got Osasuna, Sevilla, and then Braga, and then Barcelona, and we have, I believe, Sevilla, Braga, and Barcelona in the space of a week. So we don't really have time to rest and recover. We have a lot, to worry about in terms of training and preparing for the match and traveling, because we are heading away to 4 different matches out of 5. We're heading away to Naples, we're coming back to the Bernabeu, we're heading away, to Sevilla, to Seville, and then we're heading away to Portugal, to Braga, we're heading away to the Bernabeu, not the Bernabeu, to the Spotify Camp now. So there's going to be a lot of movements and traveling to add to that as well. So it's going to be a very, very tough, rough 5 games. But as I said in the review against Girona, if we can get these 5 games out of the way and get as many points as we can out of these games, our next few matches are better in terms of, Rayo Vallecano, I'm pretty sure we have Cadiz as well coming up. So it's looking better, slightly better as compared to this period. But the tough month is this batch of October, sorry, we're already in October. So this batch of October, this 2 weeks, in fact, is going to be a tough 2 weeks. But if we can last this 2 weeks, this 2, 3, 4 weeks, it'll be alright, right? And that's all we have to hope for, really, because with the squad that we have, with the way we've been playing, we can really only count on the best to come, really. But let's see what happens. But I hope you guys have enjoyed today's preview. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Let me know your predictions on the scoreline and the starting 11. But I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Hit the like button if you did. Subscribe to the channel on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.